What is happening? Hope everyone is doing well. We have a Starbucks Grande Blonde Latte. So I want to chat about automate, delegate, remove. Today, I want to chat about mindset. Today, I want to chat about becoming a lifelong learner. Today, we are talking about sales processes. So we're going to entitle these live sessions, Coffee with Cody. Hello, good day. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Coffee with Cody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe out there. Today, I want to chat about email and text automation, how to use email and text automation for your real estate business, how to use email and text automation. I'm going to take you through a little bit of the theory behind what we do. Recently did some training around email and text automation nurture that really interested me more than anything, because I find that a lot of people struggle, and a lot of real estate agents and entrepreneurs struggle with really coming up with ideas. So I'm going to show you really quickly what our software does, but I'm also going to talk about some frameworks that you can use in order to write emails and text message automations. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to start with the email and text automation when it comes to actually how to write a really good framework to use when you actually want to get out in front of more people. I said this recently. I was doing a live, and I said that I think one of the mistakes that a lot of business owners make, there's a few things with email, and there's a few things with text automation. But one of the mistakes I see happen often when it comes to email is you're just not emailing your list enough. And I think that a portion of that can be what we call batch processed. So you don't necessarily have to write a new email every week. You could schedule an hour a month and have a theme. You could create a theme for the month. Maybe the theme for the month is email nurture. Maybe the theme for the month is something around the lines of your area of expertise, something that is inside of your zone of genius. And I think that when it comes to email, I don't know about you, but sometimes it can be hard coming up with ideas around email. So there's a few different things that you can do. So the first thing that you can do in order to write better emails is use a program called answerthepublic.com. And essentially what answerthepublic.com does is it scours the internet for questions that people are already asking online. And you can use that tool in order to write an email. Or maybe you're already publishing content for your business, and maybe you can just email your list once a week. You need to email your list more. On the very least, you should be emailing your list once a week. And the reason that I'm not a huge fan of monthly email newsletters is because the average open rate your average open rate, especially if your average open rate's 30 to 40%. When you think about it, you're only talking to people once a month. 12 times a year, you're actually having a conversation. So I think there's many different ways that you can approach email automation. Generally on the front end, how we use it. I'm going to show you how we use it for real estate agents. And then I'm going to give you some concepts and some ideas to action. So the first one is answer the public. Use that. We teach all our clients to use that. The second one is a framework we use called Story, Lesson, Offer. I got this from one of our business coaches, where essentially you tell a story, you present a lesson, and then you create an offer. And you essentially, in every email, you should be saying, hey, whenever you're ready to talk to us, or whenever you want to have a chat, whenever you want to get set up on a search list or do a same day, you provide value on the front end, and then you say, hey, whenever you're ready, feel free to reach out to me, send me an email with the word email back. And the best emails that are actually working right now with email and text automation are short and punchy emails, or short and punchy text messages, or an email with one link. Because you want to make the email feel like it's coming from somebody that you know. Like it feels personalized. And a great way to do that is through storytelling. So if you tell a story, or if you're teaching something, like for example, here, I'm going to take this video, and I'm going to share this video I'm going to do a little write-up. I'm going to take this piece of content I'm creating right now, I'm going to share it with my email list of about 10,000 subscribers. It's an easy way in order for you to share what's going on in your business and going on in your world. So if you're creating content, you're doing a podcast, take that content and just repurpose it and get it out to your email list so you can get more subscribers. Whether it be YouTube, whatever you're doing, you can take the content you're already producing and send it to your email list, especially if it's high value content and you're teaching or you're educating. You definitely want to get that in front of your email and text subscriber list. So that's number one, story, lesson, offer, answer the public, And if you say, for example, you create something cool, if you create like, 5 tips on how to buy your first home, or you create 7 tips on how to get pre-approved for a mortgage, if you create this type of content, you want that content as well sent out to your email list. So I say at the very least, based on email open rates, you should be emailing your list at least once a week. Now, what I want to do is I want to share my screen. I want to show you really quickly what we do on the front end. So everything I talked about, you want to do because it's personalized content that you can get out in front of the people in order to build the know, like, and trust factor. Email still definitely works, but just like social media, where they say you need to post like 2 to 4 times a day in order to build a relationship, it's the same thing with email. You should be emailing your list very least once a week, because you're building a relationship with the people, especially if you're just leading with value and saying, hey, here's how to do this. Hey, here's how to do this. Hey, I get this question asked often, like about getting pre-approved for a mortgage. Here's some information. Here's some information on lenders. If you just lead with a giving hand on a weekly basis, eventually people are going to choose you because you're doing something different than anyone else in the marketplace. And we actually went through this. We call this the email and text launch calendar. All of our clients have access to this. We do some training around this that helps them get started actually creating content that not only for social, but also for their emails. So like I said, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you really quickly what we do. So what we're up to right now when it comes to this essentially is our account. So if you're a real estate agent, we have built out a bunch of what we call reactivation campaigns. But when a buyer or seller comes through, they go through this 2-week nurture sequence that essentially is pre-built, and it's set up for stop on response. So as soon as somebody responds, then the actual email and text messages stop. But this is already pre-built. So the cool thing about email and text automation is you actually have the ability to pre-build out a campaign with information in order to drive them to whatever your call to action is, like get an appointment, do a CMA, whatever your call to action is. You have the ability to actually pre-build this out. So you only have to set it up once. And once you set it up, we've actually done this for our clients. So we know that email and text automation helps to convert leads to appointments. So what we can actually do is we can actually pre-build out a campaign. We can tweak it based on, reply rate, based on response rate, based on open rates. But what you're looking at is we have this built out for 2 weeks. And then if they don't respond, what happens is they go into a 6-month nurture sequence. So you don't have to worry about writing this. We highly recommend that you create some content that goes along with this content, but we have you set up. So over the course of the next 6 months, if they still don't respond, they go through a 6-month drip sequence here for both buyers and sellers over the course of 6 months. And if they still don't respond, they go into what we call our ultimate unresponsive campaign that is built out over the course of the next 12 months. So this campaign is built out to actually drip on them over the course of the next 12 months with value. We've built this out. On top of that, when you work with us, what we're doing is not only have we built that out for you, we also give you the tools that you need in order to actually write good emails, good text messages, take your social media content and get it in front of these leads that you're generating online so you can build the know, like, and trust factor faster. And setting up a drip sequence or setting up a nurture sequence is so important because, like I said, you can have a theme that you spend an hour to 2 hours a month on creating content, and then you could build that out to essentially go out to the list in sequences throughout the month. So it's really powerful when you actually set up an email and a text drip sequence. And so generally when our setters work with clients, they're generally sending out emails and text messages that we've actually pre-built. So when you work with us, we do this in order to book more appointments. They'll send out what we call reactivation campaigns. And I don't want to end with this because I think that there's different layers to email and text automation in order to do it right. The first element is actually building a drip campaign and actually having them go through a sequence that is built to convert. But not everyone's going to convert there. So what else can we do? We can actually send them value-added emails or value-based content emails on a weekly basis, or probably more. Many people like Russell Brunson say you should email your list daily. If you don't have enough content, I say at the very least you should be emailing your list once a week. It's really not that hard. And it's really if you're already creating content and you're already talking about things, use Answer the Public and then create your own value-based added content. So we build out content, and then if you add your value-based content, especially if you're already creating content, you can get that content in front of people. So that's another touch point that you're creating. And then on top of that, if you're working with our agency, what happens is our call center agents are actually sending out reactivation campaigns. And essentially what a reactivation campaign is it is a differently worded message, and it's a differently worded text that's short. And Dean Jackson calls them the 9-word email. We call them the 9-word text that essentially says, hey, are you still looking for this thing that you originally came to us for? And if you are, send us a message back with the word, and then insert a word, whatever it is specifically in your industry. If it's a list of homes, maybe it's like send me a message back with the word list. And what this does is it can actually help you convert more people, because people are busy. And this is the thing I want to get across with email and text automation is people opt into multiple things. And we know that if we can actually contact them 5 times or more, we can increase our contact rate by 70%. So that's why it's so important that noting that people are busy, noting that people have busy lives, and noting the fact that people generally don't respond on the first response. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably do the same thing. It takes multiple touch points in order to get people to actually convert. So how can we get them to convert faster? Obviously, we can set up email and text automation sequences, number 1. Number 2, we can actually create value-based added content. So we're creating content for social that we can leverage with email. And the third thing that we can do is we can actually make sure we set up reactivation campaigns on a weekly basis that it can actually help us get in front of more people, more times. And we can create the touch point with value-based content, with educational-based content, with the email and text automation nurture sequence we set up, and then the reactivation campaign. So if you have any more questions around this, or you're really curious on how to get this set up for your real estate business, if you're a real estate agent and team, we just recently launched a pay per booked appointment system that essentially you pay for each appointment that's booked. So it decreases the risk that you take on the front. We take more of the risk on the upfront to actually get you in the door, to show you that this stuff works if you put in the work. We also just recently announced that I kind of threw this out there, that we are bringing on a real estate coach, because I recognize that there are certain things that the clients that are really winning are doing, such as setting KPIs, having monster follow-up, understanding the power of scripts, understanding the power of really overcoming objections and being able to handle objections and be able to actually speak with online leads. So that's part of the reason why we are launching a coaching program in supplementary with our agency. So that's something else we're doing. So if you're interested and you want some more information, just send us an email at info@studioptbo.com, or you can DM me directly. We'd love the opportunity to chat with you. We'd love the opportunity to show you what's possible in the online space using Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram ads, put them into email and text automation drip sequences to actually get them to convert. Whether it be through text messages, whether it be through emails, whether it be phone calls, all of the above, everything works. These are just some ways that you can actually create a rhythm and a routine to actually help you convert more leads to clients. All of the above. It requires all the above to get people on the phone. It requires value-based added content. It requires reactivation campaigns. It requires and it requires drip sequences. If you do all 3 of these things really well, which we help you with majority of this stuff, give you ideas and concepts, you can really make a massive dent in the online industry. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Hope you got some value out of today. And if you have any questions, just DM me with the word email, and I'll get you some more information. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your attention. We'll see you all soon. Thanks, guys.